Bonjour, everyone.
Hello,
I'm John,
and I'm Jan.
and we are on our adventure to France. We have been here exactly 30 days today, and we thought it's about time we let you know how we feel about the area, the place, and the people.
And some of our thoughts.
Yeah, let me say this about that. We have a lot of thoughts about all this stuff going on,
Hmm.
and so far, it's all been positive thoughts.
Not one thing that we found wrong.
Right now, it's a little warm over here
That's the one thing.
as I'm sure it is back in the States, but it's measurably different. When we were in South Carolina and Florida and other places, humidity was just atrocious. We just got back from walking
From the grocery store.
from the grocery store, and it was not that unpleasant.
No, it's about 80 degrees outside, but there's only
And
one problem. We have no air conditioning.
let me say this about that. The French have a way of kind of like controlling the indoor temperature with the use of blinds. Now, if you're in an older building, you have the wooden shutters or plastic shutters or whatever, and they close. We are in a fairly new apartment, and our shutters are electronic. We control when they go up and down, but they completely shutter us in here. It is dark when they close.
Hmm.
But by using them during the daytime, we can control the indoor temperature. At night, we close them for protection, security, whatever, and which is not really a case being on the third floor of the apartment.
And it takes forever to get into a car, into the apartment. You've got to have a key. You've got to press buttons. You've got a lot of things.
Security fobs.
Yes.
But when we open the door and close the blinds, it allows the night air to come in, the cooler night air. So when we get up, the temperature has dropped several degrees in the apartment. Bought a fan to sit in the doorway so that in the morning, when the outside temperature is lower than the inside temperature, we suck some of that cool air in, and we can drop the temperature in the apartment by at least 1, sometimes 2 degrees by doing that.
And it's usually around 60 degrees in the morning, which makes it
And
nice.
yeah, and uh, in the evenings inside the apartment, it's like 72, which is not unreasonable.
It's what we kept the house at with air conditioning.
Yeah, so it works out. So as far as temperature is concerned, and these are record heat waves over here, by the way, we're dealing with it fairly reasonably without the air conditioning.
It's supposed to be somewhere around 88, 89 degrees today, 90 degrees tomorrow. But hopefully, the beginning of next week, it's going to get down to the 70s.
Which is
Comfortable.
the normal temperature around here at this time of the year.
Hmm.
We are in record setting heat. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about language. Let's have something to say about that. We have Google Translate, and we have used it maybe 3 times since we've been here. We have to read with it some, but as far as actually translating a conversation, I haven't had to use it that much.
We used it yesterday at the bank
And that's because the young lady did not speak any English and she was trying to tell us that she had to talk to management.
after we gave her all the paperwork so we can open up a French bank account.
And opening a French bank account's not like walking in, sitting down, and them shoving papers to sign. All kinds of supporting documents to tell them who you are, what your financial background is. So the young lady took all of our documents, said she'd talked to management, calls back today to tell us whether we are a yay or nay with using their bank.
Yes.
But we have a bank account with a uh, international banking institute. It's called Wise. We have debit cards with them. They convert our money from U.S. dollars to the euro.
It's like an online bank,
Yeah,
and we've got our cell phone bill and our electric bill automatically deducted from that every single month, which makes it easy for me. And rent is due, so I will pay it out of that account also.
Uh, as far as more language barriers, I haven't seen that many. There are some people that speak a little bit of English, and with our
A little bit of French.
language, very, very little. Um, we're able to communicate, point and shoot, and all that kind of stuff. We get it done, and we are picking up some, French phrases as we go that uh, are very helpful in communicating. Now, we're not going to sit down and talk to a Frenchman or a mademoiselle.
And have a conversation.
That's not going to happen unless they want to practice their English,
Yes.
which a lot of them do. But we get through the marketplace, the grocery store, the pharmacy, the buses and trains and Ubers and everything without any problem whatsoever. So the language is,
It's a little difficult. It's best to have some knowledge of French while you're here, but we are working on learning.
but let us tell you something. A lot of that is because of the people of France. And
Yes.
let me say something about that.
We have not met anyone that has been unpleasant
Or hostile
or
to us.
hostile. Everybody is very, very nice, very pleasant. It's, of course, it's bonjour everywhere you go as soon as you walk in the door. Otherwise, it's you're an ugly American.
Well, there's a thing too that they told us coming over here that don't look them in the eye because they don't want to see you. Number one. Number two is they will not acknowledge you. You are just somebody else to them.
And don't say bonjour on the street.
Well, you know what? We've had them say that to us. Just total strangers walking down the street, in and out of a building. They look at you and go, bonjour.
We had one fellow the other day when we went to IKEA. We got out of the car, we got into the building. He came back and asked if we were French, and we said no. He says, "Well, then have a nice day and welcome." And then he went and joined his group. They go. Some of them actually go out of their way to be pleasant.
And, when you sit down to get a cup of coffee or Coke, whatever, they are very pleasant, very friendly. Again, you're using some French to talk to them, and they appreciate that you're trying to learn and use their language
You
as
can see this,
opposed.
but you can see the smile on their
And you
faces.
can see the difference when somebody else sits down that is expat, whether American, Canadian, or whatever, and they just say, "Bring me such and such,"
Yep.
and you may get a bill that's just a little bit higher because of that. They do not like rude Americans or rude anybody, actually. This is a very pleasant
And polite
country,
society.
and it's just uh, something that you need to be aware of and take advantage of, actually. But when we go to these restaurants and these places, you get the bill and it seems a little high because they're doing euros. And with the dollar conversion rate right now, it is a little high.
Yes.
But it's not really that unreasonably different
And you
than,
get a lot of food for your money.
yeah, in restaurants,
Yes.
they're not skimping. I mean, you get a pile of French fries that,
It's half the plate.
yeah, and then
Along with a hamburger. That's about that thick.
and salad, and then it's piled up high.
Because usually if you order a hamburger, you get a hamburger, you get French fries, and you get a salad.
And it's just a very different type of sales too. You go in and you don't just sit down at any old table.
You
The
ask.
You either ask, point, can I sit here? Or the waiter will come out and point out several selections for you. Which one would you like? And you sit down and he will actually leave you alone
Yes.
sitting there until you ask for a menu. I mean, that table is yours.
For however long you want it.
You're paying for it by buying their products, etc.
And the other thing about it is there's no tipping over here. They make a decent living wage. They are paid a decent living
Of
wage.
course, they appreciate a euro or
Or
two
two.
when you have a good server and the food wasn't really good or something. You leave a euro or two, not
Right.
20%
Cent.
of the bill.
No.
That is outrageous over here, and they do not appreciate it whatsoever.
But they will joke with you, they will laugh with you, and it's a pleasant experience. It really is.
Okay, let me say something about transportation here.
Amazing.
Right outside of our apartment is a bus stop. This bus will take you down to the basic train station within France, where you have transfers to trains, buses, trams, taxis, whatever. You also have Uber over here, and we have got picked up a good one.
Yes, a good Uber driver.
And in fact, he took us to IKEA yesterday and did not want to charge us for it. Either way, we told him, we don't know when we're going to be finished, probably 3 hours or so. At 3 hours exactly,
He was there at the door.
yeah, waiting on us.
Hmm.
We walked out at 3 hours somehow,
He,
and he was there.
he had to have his business car was in the shop. So this was his personal car.
He came and got
He
us,
came and got us and then took
and
us and then picked us up and brought us back home.
and we were not going to allow him
Did not get
to use his petrol unpaid. So
this cheap. It's not cheap over here.
we left him some euros, about 10, 5 each way, and he fought us tooth and nail not to take it.
But he also gave us a recommendation for the person at the bank that we need to talk to, which we
And,
did yesterday.
and that's the she we're talking about, hopefully going to be calling us back.
Yes.
But the other transportation, buses run constantly. They don't run very late because there's some activities we would like to partake in. One coming up this weekend that the buses stop to get us home. So we'll have to find some alternative transportation for that. But we can get a bus or a tram to almost any kind of connection we want throughout Rot's system. And
Yes.
it's just, and they're frequent. It's not like, well, we got to wait for him to do a loop and come back around. And there's generally, depending upon the length of it, 2 or 3 different buses working that route.
And then we also, when we got here, we also got a uh, mobility card. This is the card that you get so that you pay for your ride. And all we do is go onto the bus or to the tram, tap it, and that's it. And we'll be upgrading that to an annual pass next week.
And it works everywhere.
The bus, the tram, everything.
So, and speaking of going someplace this weekend, this place, I'm going to be doing a video of the uh, Porta de Mar, which is the Roman archway. Anyway, they have a plaza there that almost every weekend that we've been here, there's been something going on for the kids, for adults, for the pictures that I took of the military uh, equipment that was at Porta de Mars. Um, the thing coming up this weekend is a historic event that you have 2 cathedrals, primary cathedrals. The big one that we showed you. Then there is Saint Remy. Saint Remy is named after the bishop or whatever that baptized Clovis back as the first king of France. The cathedral there is going to start a parade that has historic style um, people, and
It's Renaissance.
it's kind of like a Renaissance, yeah. But this parade is going to the main cathedral. Oh, by the way, they will have Joan of Arc on horseback riding
Yes.
with them. She oversaw the crowning of
Charles
Charles
the
the
Second.
Seventh, which was the last king. Um, but it is going to be a big event.
The whole
Um,
weekend.
yes, it covers the whole weekend, and there's going to be a fair where you can go in and buy a lot of these artifacts from the the 400th century to the 16th century. I don't know, just don't know about that. And anyway, that's just one of the things happening throughout the summer. And
There's also a light show at Notre Dame, at the cathedral. It starts, unfortunately, at 11:15 at night because it stays light here till almost 10 o'clock. So they have a light show at the cathedral that we would love to go see, but it's getting there and it's getting back. That's the problem.
so we may have to bring in our favorite Uber driver
Yes.
and pay him for a round trip. So all in all, I think that we find that our at least our first 30 days have not only been a great adventure, they have surpassed our expectations to the start of this adventure.
We're finding it rather easy to assimilate um, into the system, into the culture.
Let's talk about the friends again for a minute. We have, before we left, Jan on Facebook had met two couples. One, the husband met us at the train station when we first arrived and helped us drag all of our luggage back to our hotel. We've had several lunches with them since then. Um, she met a uh, doctorate. He's a physicist, and his wife, and we've had lunch with them and planning on lunch hopefully next week as well. They live just outside of Reims, between Reims and Epernay, through some of the year, and the rest of the year they are
In Grenoble.
in Grenoble, France. Then last weekend we met a young couple that he's French, she's American. They live in New
Mm.
York and here. They're moving here permanently, from what I understand, and they're building a house. We had planned to have dinner with them
This Friday.
this Friday, and maybe, depending upon it, their plans, maybe come back here and have a drink afterwards. But and our hotel manager, when we stayed there one night, has been we are her neighbor as far as she's concerned, and she's just lovely. But all in all, this has been a tremendous adventure, and I look forward to many, many more months of good times.
Yes.
So until then, a bientôt.
Bye, everyone.